Tonight, we travel back to a time before videos filled the internet, before creators had channels or fans or the dream of a million views, before content was a word people used every day. Close your eyes or let your gaze soften and imagine a world where videos live only in private memories, home movies, locked away on tapes, or on computers that groaned and struggled just to play a simple clip. There were no shorts, no subscriptions, no streaming, and certainly no autoplay. If you wanted to watch a memory, you had to press play on the exact machine where that moment was stored. And if you wanted to share that memory, well, that's where the trouble began. Because the internet, the powerful network that connected the world, still didn't know how to handle video. It was a young teenager, full of potential, but awkward, and learning how to communicate, not yet ready for the emotional weight of moving pictures. So our story begins in that imperfect moment. A moment where the world was asking a quiet question without knowing it. How can we show each other the things we see, the memories we make, the stories we live, in a way that feels as easy as breathing? The answer was coming. But first, there needed to be frustration and curiosity, and three friends with just enough ambition to believe the world deserved something better. Take a slow moment here to appreciate how much we rely on connection. Every video you've ever watched, every tutorial, every laugh, every song, every comforting voice, all of them exist because one day, someone couldn't share a simple video with a few friends. It's funny how often innovation begins with inconvenience. It is the year 2004. People have computers in their homes, and some even carry laptops. Phones still have buttons and tiny screens that show only a few pixels of blurry images. Streaming is a dream that only the bold imagine. If you wanted to watch something from the internet, you had to wait. Sometimes a few minutes, sometimes many. A gray bar would crawl across the screen, pausing, starting, giving hope, and then taking it away. Online video was a puzzle no one had fully solved. The bandwidth wasn't ready, browsers weren't built for it, and most websites didn't want to deal with these large, messy files. So videos stayed local, saved on dusty external drives, recorded on digital cameras with tiny screens, watched only by the people in the room. Think of all the moments that never found an audience, the funny joke that only a few friends saw, the first steps that never left the living room, the incredible skateboard trick that lived only in memory. The early internet was full of silence, not because people didn't have stories, but because they had no way to share them. Every invention begins as a missing piece, and this missing piece was begging to be found. The story now brings us to San Francisco, to three young engineers working at a company named PayPal: Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, Jawed Karim. They were clever, they were curious, and more than anything, they loved technology that helped humans connect. They filmed their lives like so many of us do: dinner parties, birthday surprises, weekends with friends, little victories. But every time they tried to share a simple video, no luck. Email failed, transfer tools crashed, file sizes too large, formats incompatible, everything resisted. They weren't trying to build the future. They just wanted their friends to see what they recorded, a very human desire to show someone else a moment that mattered. And that relatable frustration sparked an idea. They started asking questions. What if the internet could hold videos as easily as it holds text and pictures? What if sending a memory was as simple as dropping a link into a chat? What if videos could play instantly, without waiting? These weren't dreams of riches, or fame, or empire. They were simply speaking to a gap the world had overlooked. Innovation always begins with someone asking, "Why isn't this easier?" That question set everything in motion. Late nights followed, whispers of possibility, a sense that something important was forming, even if they couldn't name it yet. This wasn't just a bug to fix. It was a puzzle worth solving, because three friends wanted to connect the world through the magic of moving images. And very soon, the world would respond. It was early 2005. The three friends often gathered with co-workers and neighbors for small social events. Nothing fancy, just food, laughter, and the joy of being around people who understood them. One night, they recorded a simple video, the kind you don't plan, the kind meant only to be seen by the people who were there. But afterward, someone asked, "Can you send me that video?" A harmless request, something that should have been easy. But when they tried, the internet refused. Emails bounced, uploads froze, formats broke, everything fought back. A simple moment was trapped on a screen. Jawed stared at the error message, annoyed, but also curious. Why was sharing video so difficult? In that tiny frustration, a massive question formed. What if we build a place where this is easy? A single site that anyone could use. No technical knowledge required. Click, upload, share. It felt almost too simple. Often the best ideas do. The world wasn't asking for permission. It was waiting. A spark had quietly ignited. With the spark lit, they began exploring what this idea could really become. What if videos could have a home online? What if anyone could watch them immediately? What if the internet could show what life looks like for everyone, everywhere? This wasn't just a tool. It was a shift in perspective. Television belonged to the powerful, network studios, executives who decided what stories were worth telling. But YouTube would belong to the world. Every voice, every culture, every corner of life. No approval needed, no budgets, no rules. Just humanity in motion. They weren't dreaming of massive audiences, or fame, or going viral. They simply believed the internet should allow people to be seen, to show the moments that matter not to everyone, but to someone. They imagined a site where a teenager could upload a music cover from their bedroom, where a parent could share a child's first steps with a distant family, where humor could travel faster than language, where stories could be told by anyone. Not someday, not eventually, now. This idea was not just exciting. It felt inevitable. The next step was action, and action in the world of startups often begins in small, humble places. A spare garage, a kitchen table, a borrowed office after hours. They wrote code in quiet spaces where the world was not watching. The early site looked nothing like what YouTube is today. Just a basic white page, a search bar, and a button that invited uploads. The idea had taken physical form. Chad worked on the design, how everything felt to the user. Steve focused on the system that kept the site alive. Jawed handled early marketing and the big picture thinking. Together, they were building a door that anyone could walk through to share a piece of themselves. The first uploads were random, tests and trials, footage of pets, blurry clips, inside jokes. Nothing viral, nothing polished, but everything was progress. Sometimes a garage is the birthplace of the future, and in this quiet space, they created a platform that would soon become a global stage. The prototype was running, but a website is not alive until someone uses it. So the three friends prepared to make history without even realizing it. April 23, 2005, San Diego Zoo. Jawed Karim stood in front of the elephant enclosure. A simple background, a casual moment, nothing staged. His friend held the camera. Jawed smiled in that quiet, slightly awkward way we all do in unscripted moments. He said just a few words about elephant trunks, how cool they are, and then the clip ended. 13 seconds, no edits, no music, no special meaning. Yet that tiny video became a doorway, a moment that marked the beginning of a new era. It was proof that anyone could capture a memory and share it instantly with the world. It was ordinary, and that is why it was extraordinary. Because YouTube wasn't made for the polished or the perfect. It was built for real life. Birthdays, pets, trips, experiments, first tries, failed tries, and everything in between. One quiet upload opened a loud opportunity, not for the founders, but for everyone. The world was curious. At first, just a few users registered, then a few more, then thousands, then millions. Videos spread like laughter in a room. People began sending links not just to friends, but to friends of friends, and then to strangers who would soon feel familiar. Funny moments, travel adventures, music covers, experiments, sketches, randomness that nobody asked for but everyone enjoyed. The comment section became a new kind of conversation. The recommended videos pulled viewers into hours of discovery. YouTube became a community without a map, where you could walk from one story to the next simply by clicking. In classrooms, students whispered about clips they watched the night before. In offices, co-workers gathered around a single screen to laugh together. Every upload was a new voice. Every view was a new connection. The platform grew too fast for the founders to fully understand, and yet it felt natural, as though the world had been waiting for this exact invention for a very long time. Growth brought excitement and challenges. Videos required storage and bandwidth and money, lots of money. The founders worried quietly that the dream might collapse under its own success. But someone was watching. Google, a company that had already changed how we find information. Now they saw how people wanted to share it. Google recognized what YouTube could become, not just entertainment, but education, communication, archive memory, history, connection. So they made an offer, $1.65 billion. Stock, support, resources, room to grow. It was one of the biggest acquisitions in internet history. Suddenly, three friends who once simply wanted to send a dinner party video were now responsible for a platform that connected the world. And instead of slowing down, YouTube accelerated. Better systems, better discovery, better tools for creators who would soon rise from living rooms into global fame. This wasn't a website anymore. It was a revolution in how we communicate. Today, YouTube continues to grow every hour of every day. Billions of views across billions of screens, phones, tablets, computers, televisions. Teachers reach students in every language. Artists share their work with audiences they never imagined. People learn, people laugh, people escape, people heal. All because three friends refused to believe that sharing video should be difficult. The garage is gone, but the spirit remains. A belief that the internet should be a home for everyone's story. Not just the loud, not just the powerful. Every voice, every angle, every lived moment, now and forever.